This, my few and far between friends, is a 2019 Chevrolet Camaro. Base price for a 1LS, $29,145. Oh, and here's a little piece of advice, some helpful consumer advice. If you're thinking about buying a Dodge Challenger, any trim, really, and putting it away for a rainy day and pulling it out of the mothballs in 30 years from now in the hopes that it will have appreciated dramatically, you're wrong, because that's what everybody's doing. But what nobody is doing, because nobody likes it physically, is buying a Camaro. And very specifically, this one particular example. What's so special about this Camaro? Looks great, doesn't it? Eh? Well, it's actually a 1LT, which starts at $29,845. The difference between the two is wheels and a few other items. Well, the Camaro does include power seats, Chevy's Infotainment 3 system, a 7-inch screen, satellite radio, and a Wi-Fi hotspot. But this car, this specific car, what's so special about it? It includes the must-have 1LE package. Yes, the 1LE, the famed 1LE. It includes, well, it's a $3,000 option, by the way, and you have to take it. It includes, all right, let's just get into it. These beautiful 20-inch wheels, Brembo brakes, satin black hood, lovely splitter, LED headlights, black caps on the mirrors, this very nicely integrated rear spoiler, the blacked out, smoked, or cleared, I don't know, depends on how you look at it, tail lights, black badges, and a few other items. And this Riverside Blue, totally to die for. Grand total, with a few other options, only, and I do mean only, $35,535. $35,000. I'm sure if you push, you can get it for a heck of a lot less at any Chevrolet dealer. Look at this thing. Yeah, maybe the discs look a little small behind the 20-inch wheels, but so what's going on? Oh, the RS badges too are included in the 1LE package. Why so inexpensive? Because it looks so good and so aggressive. Well, that's because it's the 4-cylinder example, and it's manual. So many highs and lows and everything I've just said right there. There is a trunk, there is a back seat, so let's just get right into it. And here you go. This is also part of the 1LE package. Alcantara steering wheel and shift knob. So let's slide in the seats and reveal one of the many issues with this car. Make sure it's not in gear. All right, the visibility. Forward visibility is just terrible. Lateral visibility is no better. And rear visibility is terrible. You really feel like you're in a coffin. But this thing drives well. I'll tell you a little bit more about that soon. The dashboard is simple. Some of the plastics are, I don't know. This is a 7-inch screen. The Infotainment System 3 or Infotainment 3 from Chevy is very nice. You get your CarPlay, your Wi-Fi hotspot. Very simple HVAC layout. Your Blazer, Camaro-inspired Blazer, whatever, vents with built-in temperature controls and fan controls. This is your drive mode toggle switch. There are your modes. There you go, track, sport, and touring. I really like sport. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a moment. Otherwise, that's it. It's just the regular seats. That's the little shifter, but you can't see the knob because the sun is terrible. Or can you? Oh, yeah, I think you can now. And the steering wheel. A couple years ago, GM fixed the previously horrible, fat, grip, impossible thumb rests. So now the steering wheel is very nice to hold, and it's got a flat bottom, which is cool. But that's very normal, typical Camaro experience. But what is it? Let's just walk around it once more. What do you see? Right? Doesn't this car look really, really good? Like it should be making different noise. I bet you can't even hear that, and the mic on the phone is not good enough. Looks like it could shred some serious rubber, eh? And the Riverside Blue and the black hood and everything about this car is so nice. I mean, physically, it's exactly what it's supposed to be. But on the road, it's a real mixed bag. So, yeah, let's do it. So driving this Camaro is such a mix of highs and lows. I mean, the 1LE. The 1LE is this car's saving grace on so many levels. I mean, you get the Brembo brakes, fantastic pedal feel. The sport suspension is lovely because you can actually drive this car in the city and not be punished or have your spinal column rearranged, and yet it handles really, really good. Turn-in on this car remains the best of the 3 pony cars. The 20-inch tires also have a lot to do with that. This car feels really, really good. The shifter, this is another way up there aspect for the driving experience. And it's not because the shifter is well, it's good, but it's notchy, heavy, throws are long, far, considering other would-be competitors like 4 to 5 is not a distance, but they're not close by. Clutch pedal is heavy, but not impossibly so. Maybe more than it needs to be. But then this all funnels you right down to the 2-liter turbo, 4-cylinder engine, which puts out 275 horsepower at 5,600 RPM, 295 pound-feet of torque from 3,000 to 4,500 RPM. So what it does, let's do a 4.6. It picks up quickly. There's loads of torque. Before you know it, you're going way above the speed limit. But there's nothing. There's no emotion. There's no drama. There's no action. It's just effortless torque. This is something I would praise in most cars. But in this Camaro, with the 1LE package that looks this good, and I'm going to jump right to that. This car gets more looks, more thumbs up, more appreciation visually than any Mustang will ever get. Mostly because they're so few and far between. But what you'll never get is respect. You'll never get respect. Even though this thing is quick. I mean, it'll do 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 5.5 seconds. Which, for the price point, is pretty zippy. But, 4.6 again. On the floor. It sounds like a Japanese car. I don't know. When I first left with this car, it just really felt like I was driving a boosted Japanese car. I mean, all turbocharged engines more or less sound the same. Some are far more audibly attractive. There's no sound. There's no drama. There's nothing. And that's a low. And then you combine it with how good this car looks. Like, I'm repeating myself, but the thing is, you're going to come up to a line with almost anything, and you're going to get your ass handed to you in a car that looks like this. I don't know. Oh, and heel and toe, really easy to do. The pedals are perfectly positioned. Throttle response is spot on. And I'm in a sport drive mode. I've had it in sport drive mode since I got the car. I've not actually used it in touring or track because sport just does exactly everything perfectly. The highs and the lows. The highs do not outweigh the fact that this is a 4-cylinder turbocharged Camaro. It's such a good car. I think it's a better car than the 4-cylinder Mustang. On a number of levels, but I don't know. It deserves so much more than it gets, but it is hurt by its history, by its standing in the sports car hierarchy, or where it should be anyway. I wouldn't get a 4-cylinder Mustang either. And come to think of it, I wouldn't get a V6 Camaro. It's got to be V8 SS, or forget about it. Just get something else. You want a 4-cylinder turbo? Spend $40K and get a Golf R or a Civic Type R, or a Veloster N. It's not this good to drive, but at least you feel like you're getting a toy. This doesn't feel like a toy. so love this car. I'm so torn to say that it's not up to par. If this didn't have the 1LE package, however, it would be not a mild disaster, a complete disaster. So at least there's that. But then you're attracting attention that you might not want. Anyway, that's it for today's Camaro philosophy lesson. Tune in some other time when I have something else to say about another car.